we use the Oklahoma electrofishing protocol, which calls for a 10-minute pedal down. Pedal down meaning 10 minutes with electricity in the water, which actually could be 15 minutes or something because of maneuvering around without the pedal being down. But 10 minutes with the electricity on, then we come back to the shore, we weigh and measure every species, take the length and the weight, and of course we've got the numbers that we are collected. We lost one bass over the side. Okay, length on this, 618. It's got some fish lice on it. 42, 340, okay, 32, 36. What, I'm sorry, 42, 36. Florida strain was introduced, I believe, was around 1995, just after the lake had been drained and the outlet structure had been worked on it. The lake wasn't totally 100% drained, so there still were some northerns, but what we got were large Florida bass. We actually got 10 to 12 inch Floridas at the end of the summer. Those fish actually spawned the next year, and so. And we also got 3 years or 2 years of stocking of Floridas. So between the spawn and the 2 years of stocking, we had 3 years of Florida in here right off the bat, and that's just highly unusual. We just lucked out on that. Got a pretty torn up tail.
Yeah. I've already dipped this in a bleach solution with scissors,
okay.
And I'm gonna put alcohol in here, take a little bitty clip of its tail. Part of what we're doing with the bass survey is genetic testing to evaluate whether or not our Florida bass stocking program is doing well here. And typically it does. We'll take a little piece of a fin, just snip it off with scissors and preserve it in alcohol, and then send that to the lab, where hopefully they'll analyze that for us and get back with a good genetic return on our Florida genetics. It's a simple process. In the past, we had to take a liver sample for gel electrophoresis, and that was unfortunately lethal to the fish. And now we can just take a tiny piece of fin off of these trophy bass and release them safely back into the lake.
Okay, Mama, take off. That's a Cedar Lake bass. That's what we've been growing for about, what, 15 years now, Danny? Yeah, it's just a lot of good things came together at the same time, and a lot of great cooperation has built this fishery.
The Wildlife Department, on most of our reservoirs, we work with the Corps of Engineers or municipalities. In this case, we work with the Forest Service to help them manage their lake through assisting with stocking with the Florida largemouth bass and any equipment or effort that we can provide in other management strategies that they would like to pursue on the lake.
$45.12. Make that $45.10. 4,510. You need my towel? You're gonna have trouble finding probably that lobe right there, or is he ready to go back? She?
About 5 years ago is really when we started to see the major climb of multiples. It's probably been in the last 10 years we started seeing double-digit bass, but in the last 5 years it's been a regular. I mean, there's double digits coming out of here on a monthly basis, sometimes a weekly basis, but it's not uncommon to see a 12 or an 11. I know some locals that they won't even hardly tell you about the 8s, 9s, and 10s that they're catching. It's one for seed. The opportunity to catch a giant is here. I mean, any cast you can catch a double-digit fish or a fish of a lifetime, whatever that might be to you. The biologists have got this lake, you know, keyed up, and the whatever formula that they're using is working, you know, and I know for a fact that the largemouth bass that are in here, the 3 and 4 pounders, they're out here eating huge gizzard shad every day. So they're growing at a hyper speed.
Don Groom, the regional fisheries supervisor, and I've talked about it, and what our kind of our personal objective is that we end up with somebody catching a Florida bass out of here that is large enough that nobody else in the state will ever beat it, and that the record will permanently be held here at Cedar Lake. And that's a feather in the cap for both agencies, and it comes with having spent a lot of time working together and a great deal of cooperation in getting to that end point. So that's kind of both a personal and I don't know that it's a Forest Service agency goal, but I know the recreation folks would certainly like to keep their campgrounds full, and when you're catching fish that size and you're having the kind of use that you're getting out here, that helps them.
The locals are very appreciative of the quality of the fishery that has evolved in Cedar Lake over the recent years. They do feel a little pressure from the outside. Their secret is out on their lake, and so they're feeling that a little bit. But overall, I think deep down they still understand how important the fishery is, and that soon the media might kind of dissipate and the attention on the lake might dissipate and things will go back to normal. It'll probably never be the way it was, but it may not be quite as much as it is now as far as fishing pressure from outside sources.
It's probably the only 78-acre impoundment in Oklahoma that you can come to on about any day during the spring and will find multiple boats on. It's what once was a secluded little getaway for the Forest Service is now become quite the mecca for recreational bass fishing.
All these people coming out here and fishing, they're dropping some serious dollars in the local economy. I mean, this thing is really supporting the local economy at this point. I mean, people are buying milk, they're buying gas, they're buying camping supplies, they're certainly buying fishing tackle. So all of that, if people would look at that side of it too.
There's the one we're after. Yeah. That's beautiful.
We're opening, let's see. I don't think so. 545. $31.62.
It's all right.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's fine. We'll get the next one. Yeah.
Pull them up. This one's full of eggs. $4.90. $18.08.
At least you got the measurements.
502. bucket in there, but if I'd had the bucket, tails would have been dragging.